If your parking sensor isn't working and the WD-40 trick hasn't worked, there's a very good chance that this is why. These wires do take quite a bit of abuse because of where they're at. Stone chips coming up and so forth inside the rear of the bumper. It's actually quite a common fault for these wires to go. The first thing to do is remove this bottom part of the bumper, is remove the 6 Torx bolts. They are a T25. Okay, now the bolts are removed, we can go ahead and pry the lower bumper section away. To do that, we're going to use these silicone pry bar tools. Absolutely fantastic. They're one of the best tools I've ever bought, honestly. So you just get it in between the plastic trim and the plastic bumper. And there's a series of clips behind here, so we're just looking to, just one at a time, just free those clips up. And you can be fairly brutal with it because it's silicone, it won't damage the plastic. There we go, that's the first one. You can just feel it's come out, there we go. Once the first one's out, you can just start to pull and the rest of them start to just come away quite nicely. And then it will just hang down by the strength of the parking sensor wires. Okay, now if I wanted to remove the whole thing, which actually in this case I think I'll probably do, I have to remove each of the parking sensors. To do that, there's just a little clip here. You just open the clip up and the parking sensor just pulls straight out to the rear. You can see the problem with this sensor straight away. There's a broken wire on the back there. So we'll just open that clip up. And yeah, you can see the 2 tabs of the clip there. It's just a case of opening them up to free the sensor. So I'm going to free them all up now. I contacted Skoda. They do not make a repair harness at all, so you can't just buy this bit of wire and this connector. I could go to a breaker's yard, but again, that's likely to be worn itself. And I also figured that if this one's gone, the chances of the others going in the near future is probably higher than if I just got a brand new cable harness. So normally I try and save money, just replace the bit of wire and the clip itself. And some of them you can get on eBay, but this one you can't get on eBay as well. And it's a weatherproof connector. You can see there's weatherproof sealant in around each of the wires there. So it's not one where I want to remove pins and get into all of that. So I'm just going to replace the whole of the wiring harness. That way I've got total peace of mind that it will have good integrity for the foreseeable future. The harness is just held in by these little cable ties, so I'm just going to clip those out. Weatherproof cable bung. You just need to just pry it out. That's it. If you remove the floor of your boot or your trunk, you guys in the States, what you'll see is that the wire actually comes up through this hole just in the spare wheel well there, and it comes up behind this bit of plastic panelling, so we'll just remove that. Okay, so we'll use that silicone pry bar tool to get that clip off. There it goes, nice and easy. See how much completely easy that was with the right tool. Comes straight out, nice and simple. Simple as that. Okay, once you've removed those 2 clips, you've just got 2 Torx bolts to remove to get this plastic panel off. These are T45s. Okay, so now with the spare wheel removed, I can get the other one out. Looks like you do need to remove the spare wheel after all. There it goes. Okay, with those bolts removed and with those clips removed, now this plastic panel can come off. And it's just a case of pulling up, because there's a bunch of clips along here held in vertically like that. There it comes. Okay, now that panel's out of the way, it looks like the cable goes under here as well, so we'll remove this panel as well. Same deal as before, get the plastic pry bar tool on it. It's got a little clip holding it in. So, that pops out there. This will pop out this way as well. Just lift it up a bit. That's it, there it comes. Okay, so this needs to come away. It's a T20 Torx bit. There we go, simple. Now this is actually part of all of this. The whole thing is all one. Okay, you can see that T30 bolt there needs to be removed. Take the other one out as well, just for good measure. Okay, there's another bit on the top. Okay, there's a T25 to remove that one. Another one of these. So I'm just going to release this bit of trim so that we can free this up as well. I'm going to start at the top actually, a bit easier. And it's literally just, there's hardly anything really on it. Pull that out. Okay, now this is free up here. We should be able to remove that final bolt there. T20 by the look of it. And there it is, there's no bolt holding it in at this end at all, it's just a couple of clips, it just needs prying away. I mean, you don't really need to remove any more of this because you've got access to that brown connector there, that's what we want to swap out, but I like to just get things so there's good access. I'm going to disconnect this power connector here, this is the auxiliary cigar lighter socket. There you go. That's giving us plenty of room now. Now we trace the wire up through here. We've just got to disconnect the wire here. You need a pair of long nose pliers to remove that. So it's just a case of squeezing on the side lugs there, but you can't do it with your fingers because of the ears here. So just squeeze on those little lugs, pulls out. Okay, now we just need to remove these kind of harness straps. Okay, so we'll start with this one. Just gets underneath. There it comes. Try and do it progressively, try not to yank it. The more progressive you are, the more forgiving the clip will be, otherwise it will be time for a new clip. There it is, that is the end of the cable released, and we can now withdraw it from the vehicle. Okay, so time to put the new cable in. Again, it's a case of slotting it through the hole, bringing it through, and pushing that new connector in. Nice and simple. It does come with fresh plastic lugs on it, so we don't need to save the old ones, so that's excellent, saves a bit of time. That is all of that done. Now we can do the rest of the harness and put all of the trim back. Okay, so it looks like the new loom actually comes with clips. We need to, in fact, remove the old clips in order to get the new loom on. Let's try the flat-bladed screwdriver. Yeah, that comes straight off. What's interesting though is on the new loom there are 6 of these clips, whereas on the plastic before there were 4. So I'm not quite sure where the other 2 clips are supposed to go, but I'm not going to worry about that for the moment. Okay, so new ones just slide straight on. What's really strange is that Skoda in their wisdom have made this with insulation tape, not with PVC or heat shrink sleeving. I find bizarre. I'd paying £45 or I guess 50-60 bucks in the US, 50-60 euros. I would have expected professional sleeving. There's an extra clip here. I don't know what that's for. There's nowhere to clip it on the vehicle. I suspect that's for another model of cars, probably used on multiple cars, Audi, Seat and so forth. So I'm just going to ignore that. So I'll go ahead and clip the rest of them in. Get this rubber boot in as well, the weather seal for the boot. That's good. Okay, so now we'll put all of the trim back. So as I say, refitting is a reversal of removal. Okay, so now we've just got to remove the old parking sensors from the old loom. These grey connectors, you just push them out with a bit of, or pull them out like so, so they pop out, and then you just squeeze them back and then the connector can just be rocked off. But that was the leftmost one, I would say. Okay, so now it's going to go ahead and put the parking sensors onto the connectors. They'll only go one way. Nice and simple push on. I'm quite careful to keep the order the same. It's important once you push them in to push this bit of plastic in as well. So it will tell us. See, there's a bit of a scratch on that one, and that was the one that didn't work, which led me to believe this was faulty, but I don't believe it is. So we'll put these back in and see what happens now. Putting them in the lower bit of bumper is very simple. It's just the opposite removal. Get those lugs to hold them in from the pressure. Yeah, do make sure that bottom lug catches as well as the top one. Okay, right, those are all in now. So now they're all in, it's just a case of pushing this back in so these lugs all engage with these little holes in the plastic of the bumper. To get the final kind of click that you need to know that they're in, you might need to use your feet. So those ones there, they're not in. Okay, I'm going to put the screws in now. So this one is screwing this part to the bumper, so it's actually not part of this at all, so you don't actually need to remove it. That is it. So let's test it. There we go, that's it. That is how you repair the parking sensors on your Skoda, Seat, VW, Audi if the WD-40 trick does not work. I hope that helps someone. If this helped you, please do consider subscribing. It really helps the channel. And also like, comment, etc. All feedback is a gift, respectfully delivered. I truly believe that. If it has helped you at all, also a like and a comment would really help as well. Any questions, any comments, any constructive feedback, really, really welcome and very gratefully received. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Mother Skoda, what are you thinking? Oh, come on. What have I got to do to get this bloody bit of plastic off? Too off. And our goody gumdrops, it goes even further. And the last bit is an absolute I was hoping they'd make it really hard.